We're gonna go from blah landscape to perfect curb appeal in one day. Today, I'm at Amy McElhaney's house, and we are giving her a brand new front landscape and a completely styled front porch. Amy is, I think, lifelong resident of Midtown. She has 2 kids and has renovated the inside of her house and is ready to renovate the outside of the house. So she called me in to style that front porch to make it inviting for herself and for the neighbors. When I first came to Amy's, I noticed there was just a distinct lack of curb appeal. It's such a cute house, but I just want to make a few changes to give it that curb appeal it really deserves.
I really would like my house to be as pretty as I know it can be. At the moment, our porch, which is wonderful, we do sit out there occasionally, but it always tends to be a clutter magnet for scooters and bicycles and toys, and I know we have so much potential. It's a beautiful home on a beautiful street. We have wonderful neighbors. Everybody knows everybody. All the kids play out in the front yards in the afternoons, but my porch is not really a place that people want to congregate because it's always such a wreck. So I definitely want my porch and my house to be a reflection of me and my children, instead of just something that's just stuck to the front of the house, but I don't know what to do.
The front landscape on this house faces the west, which is kind of difficult because it's shady in the morning and it's super, super hot in the afternoon. So we want to make sure that we choose the right plants to handle those conditions.
I kill every plant that I touch. I really do. Every plant that I've tried to put in my yard burns up.
The hot, sunny conditions on the front of this house are something that I needed a little bit of help with. So I'm visiting Tony Seymour at his garden center to see if he can show me specific plants that will thrive in these really hot, sunny conditions. I wanted your input on exactly what plants we use, what the availability is, because sometimes I say I want something and you'll have to go chase it down. So I want to do what's available for this job.
You do occasionally pick that awkward plant. No, I think you've made a great selection of plants here.
Okay.
I have many customers that have the exact same situation as this home, facing west. Oh my gosh, everything is burning up. I can't walk up the steps barefooted. What in the world is going to live out here in this tremendous heat? You've got to be careful when you're choosing plants, otherwise you're going to have one drowning while the other is dying from lack of water. Compatible plants as far as water needs is most important, especially in the afternoon sun.
The thing I love about shopping at a local garden center like A. Bloom is that everything he grows there and buys to have in his garden center, it grows here in Mobile. He isn't going to buy something that a big box store might bring in from some other environment that's going to die once you put it in the ground. So I know that whatever he has there, I know that I can definitely work in the landscapes that I'm designing.
The drift roses we're going to go with are going to provide color.
Yeah.
Basically March through December.
Yeah, people love camellias, they love azaleas, but it's like you get a week out of them and that's
Very
it.
short-lived.
So I try to design so that they're getting that full color the entire summer if we can, which the drift roses will provide that. And let's talk about these corner shrubs. He took me out into his garden center and showed me all the different plants that he had as far as options. So I'm gonna need the biggest one you got, the fullest one. Once we found those perfect evergreen corner shrubs, he handed me off to Beth, who showed me about 5 different colors of drift roses.
It comes out a yellow color and then the bloom fades to a white, so you kind of get a blend of yellow and white on the bloom at the same time. And then this is apricot. It has kind of the fuller bloom.
I like that.
And then we have a red. This is the red.
Thank you.
It's a bright color.
I can tell you right now, we were marking this one off the list for sure. Because of the darkness of Amy's house, I wanted to make sure that we kind of went with lighter colors. Let's do this one. I'm gonna make a quick decision and go with this one.
Okay.
And that's gonna be all across the front. And then we've got the Angelonia that we're gonna do in front of that.
Right.
So we wanted those layers of height, and she was able to show me options that were gonna give me the look that I was going for and live with the conditions that we had to deal with. So they were able to help me pull that style together perfectly for Amy's front landscape. A lot has happened since this project started. The homeowners have installed a screen to baffle the view between them and the next door neighbors. The house and the steps have been painted and washed. So the plan for today is that Tony and his guys are gonna come in here like gangbusters, get that brand new landscape installed, fresh new seasonal color in the containers, in the front beds. We're gonna style up that front porch, and we're gonna go from blah landscape to perfect curb appeal in one day. We We knew what the basic layout of the landscape was going to be. We had the boxwoods on each corner, the drift roses in the back, and the angelonia in the front.
The color you chose is great. I love that. We've actually made a
Thank you,
change.
Tony.
You did from the pink to the apricot. It's perfect.
So it's a really great punch of color for a very long period of time, a good bang for your buck. Amy had some existing planters that we were originally going to scrape and repaint and reuse them, but Tony really made a good point. He said that the bowls were really small to put plants in, and as we all know, containers need a ton of water. So I ended up replacing them with some new planters that were going to be a lot easier for Amy to take care of. So how many times have you had to replace the sod, that little piece of sod?
Once is too many, and we have replaced it more than once.
Yeah, because this rain coming off this roof is insane. Amy's got this really bad rain runoff issue, and I've got the perfect solution for it, which is this rain chain, and I've never used one on a design before, but I'm super excited to get to try it on their house. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
The way that Tony installed this rain chain was definitely not the conventional way. The way they're supposed to be installed is through a gutter system, and they don't have a gutter system in this house, so we had to come up with a creative design solution that also is functional as well, and it looks amazing. The rugs were the very bottom layer of this design, but they were also the very first element I chose. They have so many different colors in them that it was a really good place to kick the design off, so I knew exactly what colors would blend.
Got it?
Yep. So now Amy and I are moving all of her furniture back onto the porch. We're using the existing furniture she had. It had been painted a really dark color before, and the whole porch was so dark I felt like it needed to be lightened up.
It looked good for a while, but then they would get very hot.
Yeah, that too.
We didn't sit in it very much just because of that.
So we painted it, and now we're placing it actually back in the exact same position it was there before. Now it's time to start sitting all the pretties into their place and accessorizing the space. So I'm using all of those colors from the rug, the navy blue, the gray, and the cream, to pull it all together. You can always incorporate several patterns, which is what I've done here. We've pulled the stripes from one side of the design to the other, so you have them balanced. They're not the same shape of pillow, but they are balanced design-wise from left to right. I like to also incorporate natural wood color elements. We have that natural color wood tray, and the tray contains a few other items like candles that, again, bring that blue and white color from the rug and from each side of the design across. Same colors, different patterns, the blue, the naturals, the little pop of green. Just keep those consistencies within the entire space.
Not a swing, but a plant. We got this covered.
I like to add the ferns to the ends of the porch instead of the front of the porch so that it doesn't block the view out, but it still gives you that nice softening action on the ends of each side of the porch. And then last but not least, we have these glass vessels. One's a lantern, the other is a bowl, and we place these lights inside that just gives that ambiance that draws people into the space.
It's all done. We're finished today and everything's done right, looking good, tweaked. We're out of here.
I love how Catherine looked at the things that I like and made it into something that's much more of a reflection of my personality. It's like a real house.
The big goal here was to create a space that Amy would be proud to bring her neighbors and family to, and I think we've accomplished that. From lightening up all the colors on the porch to planting some low maintenance plants in the front, I think we are going to have a really great gathering space for Amy, for her family, her friends, her neighbors, and all the kids too. Get out of my shot, Tony. But it was so riddled with weeds? No, it was riddled with leaves. Weeds. Whittled with weeds. I'm sorry. There's like a fiesta happening as it passes by, like, I did it twice. Magic twice. Magic twice. Magic twice. They have so many clips of me dancing, it is not even fun.